There are 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and Liam Neeson churning out yet another Taken clone like Blacklight, written and directed by Mark Williams, who did A Definite Maybe and Honest Thief, the latter of which also starred Liam Neeson. It was also a twist, I guess, on the Taken formula. I mean, there's really no way you can do a twist on a formula that, while it worked at first, we then got Taken 2, Electric Boogaloo, Taken 3, why the fuck did we need that? And also movies that have been churned out on streaming services. And this is the first of 2 Liam Neeson movies where he was playing an aging agent of some description that has a family he wants to try and, be there for his family, but he's trapped in this, government, crazy plot going on. He's got to figure out all this stuff and beat the shit out of people, either half or even a third of his age, in very, very believable, clearly not badly edited fights, and also some poorly done action sequences and everything. And is it too early in the review to say this movie fucking sucks and was fucking terrible? I mean, I can't even mix words. Fucking terrible. Like, I had thought about going to see this in theaters, like, fuck it, I'll just wait for it on streaming. It was on streaming pretty goddamn quickly. Memory was the second movie, and I will probably review that at some point. I'm definitely not going to review it now, because this movie was almost brain-paralyzingly, meltingly boring and generic. But you probably knew that, just reading the description, and there was a little bit of star power in this. I mean, you have Liam Neeson, his agent name, Travis Block of Attack the fame. I remember Attack the Block. I remember hating Attack the Block. I opened myself up into the comments there. Aidan Quinn, who's had a pretty good career. He plays a clearly not evil boss. How dare anybody think that this guy that is so ass-wipingly evil couldn't actually be evil? What? Maybe he's not. Maybe there's super space aliens from space. Where the fuck else would space aliens be from? And they're maybe controlling this government supergroup that Liam Neeson has to take down after another agent, Dusty Crane, which sounds like a position you pay for at some kind of Tijuana house that really should not be described at all. Taylor John Smith, sounds like a country star. There's also Mira Jones, and I had to write this down. Emma Raver Lampman. Lampman, Lamp Monster. You're not even trying, are you? When can I have it? There's some good... There's some good cast members in this, and I don't understand what the fuck they're doing in this. This just felt like the studio's like, fuck it, we're contractually obligated to release a Taken clone every 5 minutes, so let's just do this. Claire Vanderboom. Badaboom. Basically, I mean, when I saw Vanderboom, I'm like, boy, that's a great territorial wrestling name. If you're a non-wrestling fan, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. So, yeah, Travis Block, he has to stop he has to basically rescue, an agent that has gone rogue. And this agent, Dusty Crane, again, the position that sounds like it should be in some kind of seedy house, is saying there's this shadowy agency that is, kidnapping and killing innocent civilians and everything, headed by somebody from the FBI and everything. I picked a bad day to watch this, considering what just happened with Roe versus Wade, but nevertheless, that could happen in a new video. But yeah, we see this woman, Sophia. She was Natara, I believe, was the character's name in the new Mortal Kombat. Beauty, very, very beautiful. They basically made her an AOC type politician that was speaking up for and championing rights and equal rights and all that stuff and everything. And then she gets offed in a humorous way. Humorous because it was just so badly edited. And then we get to where we have more action scenes. We have Liam Neeson's character that wants to have a good relationship with his daughter, but he never did because he was always working. And he wants to help raise his granddaughter, Natalie. And then he has to also work for his boss, played by Aidan Quinn. And there's also these 2 agents that, I think one of them is named Wallace, but the names are so fucking pointless that I couldn't even tell you what their, fucking names were. I couldn't tell you what their motivations were. I don't know why any of this was happening. There were badly shot and badly edited car chase sequence. Very safe despite the fact there was some destruction and vehicles wrecking. These felt so safe and sanitized. They didn't even feel like gritty, like, oh, this is happening. Like, it's like, oh, this is just organic. No, this is just stuff that was happening. Then we get Liam Neeson fighting people. And look, I get it. I don't want 70-year-old people getting hit and brutalized no matter how tough the guy might actually be. But Maybe don't do that shit if you have to rely on somebody that's about 70 fucking years old, where you have to edit it to the point it's so fucking obvious you're shooting away from the face, or you're doing this. And yes, there's stunt doubles for everybody. A lot of action stars use stunt doubles. True Lies, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was going down the goddamn hill, it was so obvious that was a goddamn stunt double and they shot it badly. But nevertheless, action movies like this are a dime a dozen. And with star power like Liam Neeson, who's been in some terrific goddamn movies, look at his IMDb. Look at some of the stuff he was in before Taken. He was in some goddamn great stuff. Kinsey in particular. He's a Schindler's List. This guy was in fucking Schindler's List. And now he's doing this stuff. But then, something happens halfway through that changes the whole thing into something that we knew was fucking coming. And then we get the government conspiracy plot and cliches and all this bullshit. And my God, I was so fucking bored. I paused this multiple times to go out and pet the dogs. I would bring the dogs on camera, but unfortunately the dogs are very, very sleepy right now. And I would have gone, done yard work and shaved during this whole damn thing or whatever. I would have done something other than watch this, because this movie was really, really, really fucking bad. Like paralyzingly generic. I couldn't help but laugh at all the action sequences and all this stuff. It's like, okay, like, oh, he's going to do that. Oh, he's going to do that to the kitchen. Oh, he's going to chase somebody down. Hey, there's a Dodge Challenger in a dump truck having a chase sequence. Why? Because action sequence. We need to have that. God, this movie's fucking shit. It's available for like $6 on Amazon if you want to rent it. I don't know why you would want to rent it, but I mean, you could judge for yourself. Sometimes mindless action movies are not the worst thing in the world. I've seen some mindless movies this year that were fun. This wasn't fun because it took itself way too fucking seriously. And the whole thing about, the government having secret agencies and all that stuff. Maybe not exactly the best movie for me to watch right now, given all the shit going on. But yeah. Also written by two guys that this is their first credit. And I'm sorry, but unless they can produce something better, it should be their last credit. One of the guys had the last name of Rivas. Shut up, Rivas. Check out my review of Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe if you want to hear what I had to say about that. That's on Paramount Plus. It's much, much funnier and also 15 minutes shorter than this. This is an hour and 40 minutes. I think it's like 95 minutes once the credits start rolling, and it feels like it goes 2.5 hours. Fuck it, let's get into fucking spoilers here. This movie's goddamn bullshit, but whatever. If you guys want to watch it, go ahead. It's on Amazon. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so this whole thing about Dusty, it turns out that he is this fucked up agent, and he has this fight with cops because he's clearly off his goddamn rocker because he found out about this secret government agency called Operation Unity, not of Assassin's Creed fame. Non-video game fans have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. And he ends up getting arrested by Liam Neeson, who works for Aidan Quinn's character, but off the books and everything. And while he's trying to take care of his family, he goes to his daughter's school that apparently has no fucking other students there. No other students. Dusty manages to escape, gets in a garbage truck and steals it. And what was his plan here? We just get this chase scene, and that's ridiculous. And also there's this character, Mira, played by Miss Lampman, which just sounds like a lamprey eel variation. I'm not knocking her because she actually did the best she fucking could here. She's a reporter. She's trying to break this story wide open. Dusty's her source. But then Dusty gets shot in a very, very humorous way. Like when he basically spills the whole beans to Liam Neeson's character, Travis, after two guys had tried to kill Dusty, and he's like, I didn't send those people after you. Also, it sounds like an Irish grandfather trying to be an action star every time Liam Neeson talks, and I'm not knocking. The accent's very pronounced, and some people can't get rid of it, but it's so fucking hilarious. I just half expect him to be having a pint, telling people stories about the glory days. The glory days, as it were. Boy, anybody from Ireland watching this, I'm very, very sorry, but I can't fucking help it. Clearly, Aidan Quinn's character is in on it from the very beginning, and they don't even try to hide it. Oh, we get more generic buzzwords and shit tossed out, and a bunch of other crap, and Gabriel gets talked to, and he says, it's not your place to know or ask, but I want to know, and I want to ask. No, you have to stay away. You have to stay with me. You and I will do this forever. But basically, what ends up happening, pretends to be shot. Gabriel's in on this thing and gets his family. He gets Liam Neeson's family. He gets his family. Pronouns, pal. Ha ha ha. We get another we another chase scene where this one news reporter guy gets killed because he steals Mira's story, so he gets targeted by these two agents, one named Wallace and one named whatever. There is pizza fit for a dog, and it's Domino's, Dogamos, as it were. And I wrote down, good God, this is shit. Good God, this is shit. Mira and Travis come together, not like that. Fortunately, they didn't shoot that. That would have not been something I wanted to see, mainly because age difference, and also it would have just been really, really forced. But they're now going to bust this case wide open. And then Liam decides to basically, put water on his kitchen floor and shock these two agents to death. I have a question. After he, and this is just before that, these guys were in his apartment. He used a rocket launcher that he just somehow had to blow up the guy's car. And then he goes to Aiden Quinn's house. And then he decides to set, to do the electric shock thing, have a shootout, and electrocute them on the puddle of water in the kitchen. How'd those guys get there so fast without a car? Was another car just dropped in? Did it just teleport in? Were they able to undo the rocket damage and form the car back together like it was a fucking transformer? These are questions that probably are a lot more interesting, or not probably, are a lot more interesting than whatever was going on in this movie. And then it turns out that Dusty actually really liked Sophia, but then there was a bunch of bullshit, and he went rogue, and yeah, the Sophia character got run down in a very humorous way. It was absolutely fucking hilarious, just because it was so comically bad. And then this research stuff, the stuff about, Dusty and Sophia, happens with literally 6 minutes left before the end of the movie. Literally 6 minutes left. And then Travis just has Gabriel in his car because he steals the SUV or something, or pretends to be the guys, even though Gabriel doesn't know they were killed. And then they have a brief shootout. He ends up basically telling him, like, this is it for me and whatever. This thing's gonna get busted wide open. And he's got his family back. If I didn't describe that well, it's because I didn't give a shit about this movie. This movie didn't give a shit about this movie. This movie didn't give a shit about being anything but shit. Fuck! F. It's an F. Blacklight shit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.